Hey guys, I'm Big Mike, and like always, I'd like to thank you for being here today. Today we've got Pete from Jigsaw Trading here to do an Ask Me Anything. The AMAs are designed to be quick and casual. We're going to limit it to about 30 minutes. There is no prepared presentation. Instead, we're going to just take your questions, which you can go ahead and start typing right now, and see how many of those Pete can answer today. The recording will be posted on BMT and on our YouTube channel later today. If you're watching the recording and you like it, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. Okay, with that, I'm turning things over to Pete, and you should have the option now to share your screen.
Got it. Thanks, Mike. I can let me just find the right one to share. That should be okay. Should have that screen now.
There we go. Yep.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you can see a whole bunch of windows on there, right?
Yeah, a bunch of charts and domes.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Yep.
So go ahead and start typing your questions. Let's see what we have right now. Pam, I think Pam is asking whether or not you can scale into a position using the Jigsaw dome.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to automatically scale in, but yeah, you can trade as many contracts as you want at any price. There's nothing stopping you from scaling in or out.
Okay. I'm waiting for some other questions, so as people have them, go ahead and type. So in the meantime, Pete, tell us what exactly we're looking at on your screen.
Okay, so there's a few. This is what I usually trade off basically. So this is the main screen here with the SO614. That's and the blue and red lines. That's the depth and sales. So that's kind of our take on the depth of market. And then over onto the right, these time and sales looking things, they're basically what we call reconstructed tape, which is basically reconstructing the larger trades that get submitted. Above here, we've got this kind of red and blue window with the red and blue bars. That's basically something called a strength meter or a power meter. The one on the left is showing basically the trades. One in the middle is showing basically bids and offers, and then the one on the right is basically showing the pulling and stacking to the bids and offers. So basically just three kind of views, kind of an instant view. If it's all blue, it's bullish. If it's all red, it's bearish, basically.
Okay. And just so not just me, but everybody understands, is this only for NinjaTrader, or does this work with other platforms? How do you handle that?
Right now, NinjaTrader, Stage S5 Trader, which is also known as OEC Trader, so that means it works on all of the OEC derivative platforms like Apex Trader and Zena Trader and all those things.
Okay. But not, for example, Sierra Chart or Market Delta or something like that?
Not right now, but obviously that's one of the biggest requests basically. Sierra charts seem to be pretty popular out there, and so probably the platform that people are requesting the most right now is Sierra charts.
Okay.
Probably second to that is TradeStation, but that's not a great futures platform, really anyway, I don't think.
Elias is asking, how can we monitor the absorption of buyers or sellers jumping in at the last minute?
Well, basically, if we can, probably the easiest way to do it, there's a few, there's a couple of ways to do it. If you're a tape reader, then you would look at something like this, where we've got this green here. I can see the 10 and the 400. So basically, that means they bought 400 at 10. They bought more 6 at 10.25. They bought 100 at 10.25. So if you're looking for absorption on the offer, you're looking for buyers here with no move up. So we can see we had 400 bought at 10 and then 216 bought at 10.25. Not a great deal. This is just showing large trades. You can see over the right some more trades going in at 25 by market orders, and basically price not moving through. And now we've slipped through. So basically you can just look for trades on one side with no movement. And then the other thing you can look at is this column here. This center two column here shows us the trades on this side. The red one here shows the trades hitting into the bid. Can you see my cursor, Mike?
Yeah, we can.
Can you see the pointer?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, that's cool. So basically what we can see here right now at 1910, this time around we've had 105 hit into 1910, overall 1028 hit into 1910. So you can actually see the trades that are hitting into the bid here, the sell market orders. So basically when you start to see big numbers rolling up on here, it means the bidders are stepping up and absorbing. So, and they're not right now. I mean, 1,000 contracts so far at 1910, not a huge amount. So there's no absorption now.
Okay, on the dome, I see like a column that you've added notes like overnight high, yesterday high, that kind of stuff. You can basically type anything you want in those columns, I guess.
Yes, just key anything in. There's one that comes in automatically, which is the open.
Okay. Oh, I see.
And I shouldn't have done that because now everybody keeps asking, can you add my 67.5 Fibonacci in and all that kind of thing. So I think at some point we're going to let people automate their own.
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, basically just comments basically.
What kind of customization options do we have on the dome? Like as far as what is shown, what columns or colors, or what else can we change?
Yeah, you can change the colors. It's a bit clunky the way color changing works on this. It's a bit 80s. But basically you can change columns, you can swap columns around, resize columns, turn columns on and off. There's different options, like for instance, if you see the highlighting here, this is to highlight large bids and offers, which is something you can or can't use. There's different histograms, so we could turn on, okay, we could turn on, we've got some histograms here that show histograms for the, so yeah, there's some basic configuration options, but we didn't go overboard with configuration options. We could have just said, okay, this is what we think you need and this is what you got, and not have it too crazy on configuration.
All right, Chris is asking what is your setting for how frequent the bid and ask profile refreshes, and do you find it useful in your trading?
The bid and ask profile on the left here, or the bids and offers here? Because we've got a couple of things basically. The bids and offers here, you can actually set to refresh every 50 milliseconds, which is more than enough. So basically,
the outer column.
The one on the left, far left, with this, because basically the columns, the blue columns, the bids and offers, and the snapshot here, there's no refresh rate. It just basically updates as new information comes in. And also for the histograms on the far left, they also just update as new information comes in.
Okay, he's clarifying the red column that says 809, or it said 809.
This one here, right? Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, column number 10, or column number 11, the outer ones. If it's the outer ones, it basically just refreshes as data comes in.
So that's going to be dependent on your data feed. Right, right. So depending on your data feed, right? Okay. Let's see. Hal is asking, why are there 3 columns for the strength meter that shows the buy-sell strength?
Yeah, I don't use all 3 columns. So if you've seen any of my webinars, you'll see I only use 2. So basically there's one that shows the depth in the middle, which is kind of showing you, in this one, I've got it set to the first 5, I can set that to the first 3 levels of depth. So that's the middle one, and that is the one I will turn off, because I'm generally looking at the depth here. So the one on the left is for trades, so I can reset that just to get an idea of whether trades are more on the buy side than the sell side. And the one on the right here now is the pulling and the stacking, the manipulation. So all I really use the power meters for is to have a shot at, a view of what's hitting the bids and offers, and are they getting out of the way.
Okay. Let's see, Myron is asking, iceberg orders are difficult for me to see. Could you describe in order what to look for?
Yeah, basically it's pretty simple. You look for a big positive number here or here. So basically I've got 1300 1,300 or 1,200 now at the bid, but I've got minus 400, which means I've so far pulled 400. So that's not an iceberg. But if you see like over on the right here, 358, 359, they've added 190, but I've only traded 113. So when it's an iceberg, what will happen, first thing you're going to see, it's going to stay at the level for a few minutes. So there's a time element. The second thing you're going to see is you're going to see this number here, the amount that traded at the level, just gradually increasing like 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000. And all the time, this number here, actual inside offer, won't really change that much. It'll just kind of, it'll go, 500, 400, 600, 500, 400. But what you'll see on the right, you'll see the number growing. So basically, you look for the number of trades and this number here to keep growing. It's kind of happening now. We can see they've added 390. I've got 238 traded. Right now we've got offered 400. You could see 200 trade, 300 trade, 500, 600, 1,000, 2,000 trade, and still see about 400 on the offer. So that's effectively what an iceberg order is. Okay?
Image, because it's kind of hard to see what you're illustrating because the video is only updating like once every 10 seconds. At least it is for me. Maybe everybody else is.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, okay. But
Sorry, Hal is asking, on the ES Dome, what is column number 5 for and the last column for? Isn't it the same thing as the profile, a total of trades at price?
Absolutely. So it's the total of trades at the bid and total trades at the offer. So it's basically, it's a bit like looking at a foot, basically. So I can actually move over. That would kind of be, put the two next to each other, which hopefully you can see in a second. That would be showing me my total traded at the bid and the offer since I last cleared. Whereas the other pair, which is kind of between the blue and the red columns, is showing what's hit this time round. And if you're looking for an iceberg, you really want to see what's hitting this time round. And if you're looking to get a good entry, you really want to see what's hitting this time round. But from a kind of slightly longer term perspective, you might be a bit more interested in the totals, what's hitting to these levels overall. And what we tend to do is as we move away, as we make a swing low and then we move up, we think we've made a swing high, we'll just clear out those columns and just let inflation to start to build again. So if you look at the leftmost pair now, they'll start to build up and they won't clear, whereas the pair between the blue and the red columns will basically clear every time we come back to a level.
Okay, let's talk about data feeds for just a second. Obviously, that's pretty important when you're doing this type of analysis. So what do you tell people when it comes to data feeds?
Okay, well, the best data feed in terms of quality is Kinetic IQ feed for NinjaTrader. OEC Trader for Eurex is that better. They did performance problems recently, which I think hopefully they've got over now. But the thing is, if you look at order flow traders and the best order flow traders in the world, they use Xtrader, and that feed isn't very good. Okay, so what happens is you've got kind of a feed like IQ feed, which is perfect, totally unfiltered. They send you everything, but it does make it perform slowly at times. And what you will see the level 1 and the level 2 go out of sync on IQ feed. Whereas if you use kind of a feed like Rhythmic or TT feed, it's not as accurate, but it will be faster, and you won't get those times where the level 1 lags the level 2.
Right.
So basically, you kind of have a trade-off basically between your performance and your accuracy. But like, all the big traders are using Xtrader, which is less accurate, but
right.
It doesn't seem to be hurting them.
Right. So basically, two different types of feeds: an execution-focused feed, low latency, that also will drop updates. They'll drop level 2 updates,
Yep.
for example, in order to maintain the speed. That's like your rhythmic and your TT, like you just talked about. And then there's the other kind of
Yep.
feed, like IQ feed, which is also kinetic, that focuses on 100% accuracy. They send you every single update, every single level 2 change, and that means that they could get a little bit slower. You know, I don't know the exact numbers, but some of the testing that I've done could say it's 100 milliseconds slower than rhythmic.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just I don't think the one is actually better than the other. I just think it's a matter of personal preference.
They're different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Daniel says, "Hey Peter, thanks for making yourself available. Is I get some levels that are generated from a server, some website, and then it's quite time consuming to manually enter those on the dome. Is there a possibility to get those entered from the server directly onto the dome?"
Yeah, there is. I mean, yeah, that's one of the things that's on our list, basically, to let you kind of get your levels in there, automatically or programmatically. I put mine in manually, and I personally like to put mine in manually because it makes them stick in my head. But yeah, that's one of the things we're going to be doing. Absolutely.
Okay. We don't have any other questions just yet, so I wanted to ask what I'm looking at on the ES dome. You cleared those levels before, but is there, like for the profile, does it automatically start at the beginning of the cache session and then reset every day, or how does that work?
Yeah, it depends on the platform. Basically, with Ninja, you can set up custom session profiles, and there's an option here that basically says reset on new session. And then what I do is I actually set up a split session where I basically, I can show you just very quickly, session manager. I basically set up a session, there you go, where I set a session time start at 9:30, another one start and end at 4:15 when the stock's closed. So basically, as you can set with Ninja, you can set up any sessions however you like and tell it to restart at the start of one of those sessions. With the OEC Trader platform, it's kind of hardwired to reset at the start of the Globex session. But we're basically working on a fix for that, which is also part of this kind of expanding the platforms project as well.
Okay. So obviously this is a pretty sophisticated add-on on the NinjaTrader side. What do you think about NinjaTrader 8? What's going to be required for everything to work, and is this going to be something that everybody gets as an upgrade from you, or is it a new product that they need to purchase, or how are you going to handle the NinjaTrader 8 stuff?
Yeah, well, we think we're going to be lucky. I mean, we've got some pretty deep hooks, but basically what we did when we went to, we took stage 5 trading, and we let those guys over there, and we basically did an agreement to move this platform, move this onto their S5 Trader platform. So basically, we didn't want 2 sets of code. So basically, this is the same code running on Ninja as S5 Trader. So when we did that, we had to kind of make it not, a very light integration with Ninja. So we think the task will be fairly easy for us. We will do it for free. We're not going to charge people for that. So basically, yeah, it will be a free upgrade for NinjaTrader 8. So it's just a matter of fingers crossed, basically.
Right.
Right. It's not too different internally.
Hopefully,
we'll do it.
Right. Hopefully, there's a beta soon, and you can start messing with that.
Absolutely. That's the plan. Get on the beta program.
All right. Let's see if anybody else has any questions. Now is the time to ask. On the time and sales, you can set up your filters for size, I'm assuming, or block trades.
Yeah, there's quite a few options actually. You can all trades, buy only tape, or sell only tape. The size filter you can do, so this is 100 to 0, which basically means 100 to infinite. You can actually do any range to any other range, so I'll do 10 to 20 or 20 to 30. We can also have a display duration, which is how long prints down the screen. So if you see on the large trades here, after a big trade's been on the screen, it disappears after a couple of minutes. So basically that means we can just eyeball it and see what they've hit in lately. And we can also have a block. We've also got the ability to highlight the block trade basically, and also a bit like Ninja to be able to highlight trades at the highs and the lows, stuff like that. The other thing that we got is kind of unique to us is the LSD, and that was just me. I needed to use that acronym somewhere, but least significant digit space, you can see that it's just got 10.00 when the price is 1910, and that's because of this least significant digits. It says just go on with the last 4 characters. Just because it's easier to eyeball 10 than have the 19, it just makes it a bit easier to read when it's going past.
Right, sure. On that on the settings tab, I saw something for algorithm, and I know that you've mentioned this briefly on the forum before. I think I saw you post about the CME split, and can you tell us with fuzzy, what does it do versus the CME split? CME split, you actually called CME and talked to them to find out what to do to put it back together, right?
Yeah, with CME split, we called them and said, how do we put it back together? But it kind of relies on having a fairly decent quality feed in the first place. So with certain feeds, and what will happen is, for most of the Ninja feeds, we can use CME split. There's just a couple of things about the OEC feed, hopefully they'll do, that means you have to use fuzzy. So fuzzy will kind of capture a few more trades, basically. It's kind of a little bit less, it should be less fussy, really, I guess, more than fuzzy.
Okay.
But I don't tell people the algorithms. Everybody wants to know what the algorithms are.
Right.
That's kind of my secret sauce.
Sure, yeah. They got to go do the work like you did. All right.
Absolutely. Call the CME. They were lovely.
Have fun. All right. Hal is asking, is it possible to highlight rows within the DOM itself?
A row. Well, it'll highlight rows when you mouse over. You can't highlight a row unless you put an order on. And I'm sure you probably don't want to do that. So basically, there's a way to highlight an entire row, but it will highlight, like on the DOM itself, if there's like an exceptionally large bid or offer. So not right now, basically, not just a complete highlight into the row at your choice of price.
Okay. Daniel is asking if you could talk about the profile on the far left of Peter's ES. He says chart, but I think he means the ES dome. So he's talking about the histogram, I believe, on the far left.
Yep. Well, basically, the histogram on the far left is just showing a histogram of the bids and offers. So you can see right now all the bids and offers are pretty much equal except for the inside bid and offer. So that's kind of the thick profile. And then you can see within that profile, let me just make that a 0. Might get a bit more. You can see the smaller bars showing the adjustments. So basically the bigger bar just showing me this is the actual number at bids and the offers. And then the smaller bars within them is saying this is how much the number has changed, which is what we call this snapshot. So if you see a big red bar, a long red bar in the middle, it means they're pulling a lot of orders, basically. So it's blue for adding and red for stacking. Oh, sorry, blue for adding and red for pulling.
Got it. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Elias says, can you have both the IB mid as well as the value area high, low, and point of control all marked automatically?
Yeah, all that's on there right now automatically is the value area high. So the orange is the value area, okay? The green at 0825 is the session VWAP, and then the yellow at 0650 is the point of control. Now, again, I open up a can of worms with these things, and basically what happens is I want something on there so it goes on. And then everybody says, well, I want this on and I want that. And so just at the moment, it's only those levels. But again, we are looking to allow you to kind of programmatically highlight your own levels on there, basically.
Okay, got it.
So the answer right now, no.
I noticed that obviously you have two very different size windows right now for the NASDAQ versus the ES.
Yeah.
One of the things with NinjaTrader 7 that people have complained about is the ability to make the dome, bigger or smaller on width.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they changed it for Ninja
Yeah.
8, but how small can you make yours if people have a real estate problem with their screen?
Well, you can make it smaller. It's not, I mean, basically, what you have to do is change the fonts, basically. So if you wanted to take an 8 font, you could make it quite small. That's not my personal preference. You can also
Okay, I
make,
see.
you can make these columns smaller. So you can do it, but it's not like, I mean, I look at domes like CTS, where they can really scrunch those things down, and yeah, I think we could do a bit better. To be honest, one of the things we're going to be doing is actually making it like a scalable. So instead of you having to change it by the font, is just to be able to drag and drop the scaling.
Right. Got it.
Because it's not the dome if you want 50 domes on a screen for sure.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Bill is asking, how did you set up the VWAP and the value area on the dome?
Aha. This is one of those RTFM questions. It is in volume profile. You just set point of control, value area, and VWAP. Basically, just put those on, and then it will do the highlighting.
Great. Okay. All right. So we got just a couple minutes left. So let's see if anybody else has any last minute questions. And I'm surprised no one has asked how much it is, which is normally one of the first things people ask. So I'm assuming that they can just go to your website. I mean, are there different options, or is it just like one product that covers everything?
Yeah, I mean, basically the way it works is there's the base product, which is all the stuff you see here, plus another one which is the summary tape, which is kind of which you don't really need to use this if you're using Depth and Sales. It's $399.99. There is a 10% discount for elite members of BNT. And that basically gives you the products, the ability to analyze the markets. It doesn't give you the ability to trade live from it. The trading live from it is $50 a month or $500 a year. So that's the price, basically.
All right. And let's see, Hal is asking if the value area and point of control are from today or yesterday.
It's all today's developing areas, basically. It's everything you see there is calculated based on the volume.
Right.
Profile,
Right. Okay. So it's
so
the developing. Yeah. Got it.
And you can see on mine, I've got VAH, VAL marked off. That's yesterday's value area high and low. So that's basically how I handle, looking at that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Again, I'm kind of surprised no one asked, but I will ask, is there a trial, or how does that work?
What we don't do it. We don't encourage trials, because basically people that try it, to be honest, people that try it for free don't buy it. We have a refund policy where we say, okay, you buy it and we'll support you during, when you buy it, and we'll refund the money if you don't find it useful. And for some bizarre reason,
Yep.
people that buy it generally don't ask for refunds. They just tend to put more time into it, I think.
Sure.
I don't really understand the dynamics, but yeah, we do.
Yeah.
People email us. If somebody says, I'm interested in this, can you give me a free trial? We'll do it. But it generally doesn't turn into customers.
Yeah, I understand. It's kind of interesting the way human psychology works,
Yeah.
I see people on the forum talking about, how to get their, free Zenfire data feed, and they've been trying to do it for like 2 years. And it's very clear. The CME says you can have it for 30 days. And if you do more than that, then it's against the rules, and the broker can get into trouble. And these people are like, they're using fake email addresses and changing their IP address and all this stuff just to get, it's just like, come on, guys. I think you're maybe focusing on the wrong thing if that's what you're doing. So
yeah, I think so. It's a very strange. But it's just a really strange dynamic. I don't know why it is, but obviously we've got to go with that. Basically, we have to go with that. So basically, what we did free trial when we started, and then after 6 months, we said, okay, what happens if we drop the free trial and just give money back?
Yeah.
And we've got 14-day money back guarantee. And if anything, and you won't find somebody who's been refused a money back in 14 days. You won't find anyone, because we always do it. but it just changed the dynamic for us. And it's like, okay,
Sure.
well, we have no choice. We'll stay with that then.
Yeah, well, you get the people that are actually serious, so it makes perfect sense to me.
True.
All right. Well, with that, I don't see any other questions, and we're actually at the 30 minutes. So before we go, let me just ask anybody that's watching the recording later, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you if they have questions for you?
I mean, my Skype ID is Jigsaw Trader, one word. My email address, peterdavies@jigsawtrading.com. It's all on the website, basically. So, you know, you can, if you go to the website, you won't have trouble finding out how to contact us.
Okay. All right, man. Well, thanks, Pete, and I'm going to let you get to bed. I know it's almost midnight, so I appreciate you staying up late for us.
Yeah, it's time. No problem.
All right.
For those attending, thank you very much, and thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And you can also use the AMA thread on BMT if you want to ask any questions. Pete monitors that thread as well. All right, guys. Absolutely. I'll see everybody on the site. Thanks, Pete. Bye.
Thanks. Okay, bye.